Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight we're going to be on a tier 10 match here in Northern Lights with the Libetard. A very nice ship, very, some say, overpowered. I don't know how true that is. Um, it's certainly a very fun ship to play, and it's hard to have fun in World of Warships, and we're gonna see one of the
Action
reasons as
stations!
to why it's hard to have fun here. Um, so here we are, Northern Lights. We've spawned on the west flank. And we're gonna take a look at our camo here. Very nice. We spawned on the west flank with Sherman and Yinan, and they're going to do something
Awaiting
that
instructions!
I just don't understand why they do it. Maybe because they're outspotted. Maybe because they feel they need the island for
That's how it's
cover.
done!
But they're going to go to this island that's here at our 2 o'clock right here. And that's essentially where that's essentially the mistake, right? They've in doing that, and I don't say that that's a bad
Enemy
play,
force sighted on the horizon!
but the problem is that and I feel like Yinan here has second thoughts about it, but then he goes ahead and he turns back in, and there he goes. He's going to follow Sherman, and I'm thinking about I just don't know why people do this. And that high tier, there's no excuse. They should you should know better. You should know better than this. But unfortunately they don't, and here I have no choice. I have to turn out now. I'm detected, and I don't know what's in front of me. I'm assuming there's a destroyer and or the submarine, which the submarine is in front of us. He's right on our forehead. I just don't know it yet, but he's right there. He's right in front of us. He's only a few kilometers right off of our bow. I mean, right off of our starboard. When he's going to come into play in a minute. But you see where Sherman and Yinan are at, and it's very frustrating. Of course, one of the Shimas is going to be here. The team has two Shimakazes. There's the sub, and it's an Archer fish, which is, if you know, the Archer fish is very
Airborne!
very fast submarine, and it's very pretty powerful in its own right. So and he
Torpedoes
knows what he's
astern!
doing as well, which is a problem. He kind of knows what he's doing,
Torpedoes atrás!
so
Astern!
that's kind of a problem as well.
Problem solved, sir.
And
Torpedoes
there
astern!
you see
Awaiting
those torps right
instructions!
there to the right of the
Airborne!
screen.
Torpedoes
Those are
atrás!
Shimakaze
Astern!
torps. So Yinan and Sherman are there. They're sitting ducks. They're sitting ducks, and they don't know it. I don't know who they're thinking about using as spotting for them, but it isn't me. I don't have the ability to spot. I mean, I have good
Torpedoes a la
concealment
derecha!
for a battleship,
Starboard!
but that doesn't mean that I can go ahead and spot. And here,
Awaiting
this is the
instructions!
problem. And this is the exact problem. Of course, you have smoked up now next to the island, and now the enemy knows where you are. And Shimakaze knows where you are. Everybody knows where you are. Yoshino, everybody has torped.
Enemy destroyer!
There goes
Sighted!
half of the, well, more three-quarters of the Jinan's health is gone now. Tier 10. Jinan is not going to make it to the 5 minute mark. He's not going to make it to 5 minutes here. He will be dead before the counter uh, reaches 15 minutes. And this is why you don't abandon your flank.
Enemy
They
cruiser
could have done
sighted!
the opposite. Okay, there you go. Jinan's dead.
Airborne!
They could have done the opposite and ran and gone in the same direction that I'm going, just sailed
Enemy
south.
battleship
If you're
spotted!
outspotted and you're in a destroyer and you're just outspotted, it doesn't mean that you have to abandon the flank. You see, on the east, they're having the same problem. If you look at chat now, they need somebody. The Z42 is outspotting them. It's outspotting the Regolo and it's outspotting the Marceau. Of course, Marceau has terrible concealment, so they have the same problem over there. And there's the Shimikasi. Too late for me. I don't have an angle to shoot at him. I think about shooting him here, and then I just regret it because I feel like I'm just
Fire
gonna.
alarm!
These guns have terrible dispersion. I have 10 guns, but the dispersion is terrible on them, and I just don't want to waste ammunition. I can't turn it. I can't turn in or out. I can't do anything because I don't know if he has torps on the way or anything. No, I think about it here, but I don't turn out here yet. Yeah, there I go dark.
Torpedoes astern!
So now I can turn. There's his torps. He's torped the wrong way, so I can free to turn out towards the border. And here I have no choice. I have to border hump. I have to border hump because there's just there's no alternative for
Problem
me.
solved, sir.
There's no alternative, and it's because we initially abandoned that sector, and you just can't abandon this sector. If you're outspotted, just sail south and try to continue to lull them in. You lull them in, but you don't feed yourself into the pincer. And you're going to see the pincer start forming here. If you look on the mini map, you can see how the V shape is starting to take a form. You see the enemy is starting to form in a V shape around us. And that's what you have to avoid. Get being inside of that V, because once you're inside the pincer, that's it. You've lost. That's the whole point of flanking. That's the whole pointing of outflanking your enemy, of counter flanking. All of those tactics are so that you can put the enemy inside of a kill box, inside of a crossfire, where you can dispatch them efficiently.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Here, my team, I think some of my team has realized, even the Sherman to a certain extent, has realized the mistake here, and they're trying to correct it. But you see, position is so important. And even though we're we're squared up on ships, we've lost the same amount of ships to this point. We've both lost 3 ships to
Destroyer
this point,
sighted.
but we've given up position, and that and it's so important. Position is so important, and you're going to see why. You see the V shape starting to form. It's already formed. V shape is already formed, and Z42 over there on the east is doing a very good job, as is Shimakaze here on the west. And the other Shimakaze is all. Yeah, the other Shimakaze is probably doing his job as well. They're keeping the Sherman contained. They're keeping the Thunder contained. They've dispatched the other ships. We're dying quickly. We're dying quickly now. So it's just a shit show. There's no once once you've once you've given up position, that's it. You know, pack it up. It's over. I'm going to do the best I can here to fight back, but essentially, you can't just abandon position. If you yield your position to the enemy, unless the enemy is very stupid and they don't understand what's going on, which sometimes happens as well. You know, the enemy misplays even though you've given them the upper hand and you've yielded territory to them. They misplay it, and I get a citadel on the
Target
Yoshino.
penetrated.
And Colombo shoots back at me, and Oh, that wasn't so bad. He breaks
Main
one of my
turret critically
guns,
damaged.
does 3k, but we're dropping like flies. We're dropping like flies, and it's because they
Much
outpositioned us. They
obliged.
outmaneuvered us. And I'm not gonna take anything away from the enemy team. They did very well. They did their job, but we just gave them F1 and F2, and that you can't do that. You can't.
了解だ。
The front line, that line that goes from west to east, right there at at the E and F line, right? If you draw a line right down the center of the map, you can't. That's where you fight, right? That's where you have to fight, and sometimes you have to use different tactics and different strategies to fight, d- depending on what you're facing. Because we didn't have a submarine on this side. Our submarine spawned in the middle. I don't know where the archerfish, the enemy archerfish, spawned, but he did the right thing. He did the absolute right thing. Now he could have killed me if he wanted to. He could have come after me, and I really don't know why he didn't. But he did get kills there in the middle. We'll see. Um, yeah. Don't abandon position. Don't abandon
Fire
position
alarm!
because this is what ends up happening. The Yoshino's gonna come around that rock. I think I kill him here. Yeah. Oh, I shoot too soon, I think. Yeah, I shot too soon. He doesn't die there. He dies to my secondaries. Um, Now Shimakaze has moved. If you look on the minimap, and also the other Shimakaze has, I believe he has also moved, but I have no way of knowing that. Look at where his last known is. It's right there on my
Enemy
forehead. I
cruiser
can't just
foundered.
push into that. There's more. Oh, well, those were Yoshino torps. And there we can see that in the middle is Shimakaze and the submarine. Right in the middle there. So all I have to worry about here is the Colombo and the other Shimakaze. But still, when you have a Shimakaze that you don't know where it is as a battleship, unless you have Hydro, and even though I have very good maneuverability, I can easily maneuver the wrong way and need a face full of his torpedoes. So without having another destroyer that's in front of me that can help me screen for torpedoes and spot, perhaps, it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause. And here we're going to see that it's a very slow death for me because there's just no. I have no support. I have no support, and I have no support because, again, I'm sorry to blame the Sherman and the Yinon, but unfortunately they misplayed. They misplayed terribly, and we paid dearly for it. And these are the results of it. I'm doing all I can here against the Colombo, and also I have Cecilia. And you see where the positioning on Colombo and the positioning on Cecilia, it does not allow me to push in. I can't push into that, and I don't know where the Shimakaze is again. Now I know he's outside of 13 kilometers, but aside from that, I don't know anything else. I don't know anything else. Somebody's telling Des Moines to hunt the DDs, but Des Moines has Colombo on his right there on his forehead. So as soon as Colombo gets an angle, he's gonna blow Des Moines up. That's it. Now here I could have shot Colombo, but he's angled away from me. And Cecilia is at a much better angle here. So I shoot at Cecilia, and I do get a citadel here. Yes, I do. And I get a good penetration into him. But it's again, there's Shimakaze finally, but I don't shoot at him, I believe, because I'm frustrated at this point. I'm tilted. I don't really care. Again, I go dark. Actually, maybe should have shot at Well, I could have shot at the Shimakaze, but regardless, I don't think that it would have changed a thing. Colombo's doing pretty good. Shots out at Colombo. Lemoyne's going to die now.
You are the last hope.
Cecilia and the other
The
Shimakaze
enemy
is on my
team is
forehead.
taking the lead.
Of course, 5 penetrations, no Citadel that time. So uh,
Battle ends in five
he could have gone
minutes.
dark and just took the win, but he doesn't do that. He shoots back at me. I can see in chat somebody's angry. I can understand that. It's not my fault. You're, I hate to blame other players, but at high tier, you should know better. If you're playing tier 10, you should know better. If this was tier 6, tier 7, I would not give a damn. But it isn't. This is tier 10,
The
and
enemy's about to win.
people are competitive, People want to win. People want to win at tier 10. It's not easy to get to tier 10. And people want to play the best they can at tier 10, and people want to win at tier 10. People do not want to lose. So that's about it for this. We've lost. Need to kill the DD, says in chat, but that's out of the question. We've already lost. And yeah, don't abandon your flank. Do not abandon your flank. Play as a team and don't yield any space to the enemy. Make them fight for every inch. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.